Hi, and welcome to Gray's Lion. I wanted to go through a tutorial for you. I'm actually using Apple Pages. It's a free software, Mac, PC, iPhone, iPad. So I'm using an iPad today. And what I wanted to show you was a demonstration video of why it's important to build your cover for your book after the interior file is built. So when I'm looking at this file, I have actually grabbed a template right here from KDP. So the process is upload your interior and then it asks for your cover file. You skip down that you don't have one and that you don't want to use the actual template generator. And then it says to estimate or to grab your template to generate it. Right now, this is set up at 13.98 and height of 10.42. This particular file tells me exactly those dimensions. My system will round up, but you can see 13.975 by 10.417. Now, you can see also, this is a hardcover book. Very important, right? You need to know that before your build. You need to adjust margins. You need to take a look at all that stuff before. So a hardcover build, it's left to right, 6x9 book. It's a black and white, 94 pages. This 94 pages is what determines the layout of the cover. Then if you scroll over to the very beginning and it tells you the black solid line, that's the cut, that's the trim, that's what's the, boom, the scissors are going across there. The blue dashed line right here is the spine fold. It's actually going to fold right there, that book. The blue dashed or dotted line is the hinge edge right here. So that's the hinge of the spine. The white area is the live area that we're going to design in. The red area, I believe, is right out here on the outer area, saying it's out of live wrap. It's too big. It's expanding beyond the canvas, and you'll get an alert for that. And then, of course, remove this template from the final layer. So we have to do calculations. So we go back over here. We've got a full canvas size of the 13.975. We'll round it to the 13.98 on the width. We have two panels. We have the front, the back, and the spine. And it gave us the spine dimensions. Okay, so what we do is we take the 13.98 and we divide it in half and subtract the 0.401. Very technical, a lot of math, whatever. When I did this math, I did it wrong. Initially, it was coming out as 7 inches. I had to redo the calculations, and then I had to kind of cheat, and I'm going to show you that as well, especially for this cut line. But what I wanted to show you is a client of mine. His name is Michael Tavares. Michael is finishing up the interior file. And the interior file, I took an example and took it up to KDP as a test file to get the template to start to build his cover for him. He was initially working with a publishing company. The publishing company provided him with a couple files, an interior guts file, and then they also provided back the master file, and then they provided the cover files, and they are from this company. I'm going to double click here. Here is the cover file. It says Enhancer Ultra HD Cover PNG file, 16.3 megabytes. Don't mind that it's a PNG. Don't mind those megabytes. That's perfect. We'll go ahead and place that in there. All right, here it is. Okay, so we need to cover that area right? We need to cover that area, and we can't go out. And then we need to cover this area. So they built this darn close to specs. How they did that measurement, I don't know for sure. So when I did my math, I figured out that the size of this particular photo needs to be, and I'm going to go ahead and change my template down here. It needs to be, I did a black box, 6.79 and 10.42. So you remember that, 6.79 by 10.42. All right. 6.79 tab 10.2. Okay, so we've got a little problem. You can see that we have to go all the way up, so we're gonna set at 0. And we have issues down here. It's not going to fill the page appropriately. I'm gonna have to pull it and stretch it to right to the edge, right? So we've got our correct height. And then I've got to move that over. And you can see I'm going into spine here. And what was our correct number? 6.875, something like that. Or 6.675. Let's see here, let's go back to here. 6.79, so again, 1 click, 2 clicks. 6.79, come on. There we go. And I could have just done it over there. That probably would have been easier. So 6.79, 10.42, we're gonna go ahead and check. And positioning right here, let's see where this sits. 7.2, and then the 0 on the y-axis here. So we've got 7.2, so we're gonna make sure this is 7.2, so we're exact. All right. Okay, so we can see there's a little bit of pink there. There's a blue line there. We'll go ahead and zoom on in. Zoom. All right. Woo. Okay. So what I am concerned about, and I'm just going to probably just work on the cover right now to show you initially so this video is not so long, but I'm going to take this and you can see right here the distance of that arm, and you can see the distance of the dog. Remember, that's going to be that, what was it called? It was can't remember. The hinge edge. Remember, that's going to be right around there. So we got to watch that. Now I want you to pay attention to the centering. This text is embedded. It's embedded into the PNG file. So if the edge right here, we have to watch for, and then the cut line here, we got to watch for centering. So I'm going to take this image, I'm going to push it to the back. I'm going to take the template, I'm going to go to my style panel, and I'm going to take the opacity down. All right. So now we can see our cut, right? We can see the black line here, and you can see where it's gonna cut, and you can see the distance right here, the distance here, the distance will go from the lower K to here, right? We got a little bit here, we're close here, and then we have just a little bit of issues on the backside for the barcode, the ISBN, and the author information. So, you know, I don't really love it. I'm kind of a little scared about the distance here. I want to make sure this piece of the dog is not cut off so much on the ear. You've got the full ear here. The arm length here is kind of just popping in out of nowhere. And of course, you know, I want to take a look at this portion here. So I'm going to stop file right now on the video, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you how I build it.